Hey, hey, what? Listen, you're on my video for a reason. You might as well. Hey, 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 hey. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. Let me turn off the juice. Let me be real with you. You can only enjoy these videos as if you're in my frequency. You feel me? So however you feeling right now, I want you to go up, get up, right? Dance with me. Feel this vibe, because nothing else matters outside of this present moment. I know it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, how wealthy you are, how not wealthy you are. You may feeling some type of way sometimes. You feel me? And I believe that one of the secrets to life is not how you react to something and how it is that you respond to something, right? But we gotta know how to, before we know how to respond to something, you guys have to be aware of what's really going on when you're feeling these type of emotions, right? So I'm literally about to go ahead and give you guys some massive value on how to use anger, overwhelmed emotion, frustration, unmotivation, all these negative feelings that we all tend to want to avoid or drive away from. I'm going to show you guys how to use all of this to your advantage, right? But that's why it's so important to understand right now that anything that's going outside of the present moment, of like the moment between me and you right now, doesn't matter. Because make sure you're in a space where you can listen, because this is not something that's usually talked about, and I want to make sure that y'all got it, so that way y'all can really achieve that self-mastery, right? And what I want to go ahead and talk about is how to use those negative emotions, those overbearing, overwhelming emotions. I'm talking about depression, anxiety, frustration, sadness, right? Doubt, insecurity. I want to show you guys how to use all of that to your advantage, right? So I'm super excited, because the biggest misconception that we always get from being in these type of feelings is that I need to get rid of them. I need to run away from them. I need to diminish them. I need to get away from these thoughts. I need to erase these thoughts. I need to go away from whatever it is that is causing me to feel this way. And that is probably why nobody ever goes away from feeling these type of emotions. Because let me tell you something. Let me teach you something, family. It took millions of years, millions and millions of years of evolution to get the consciousness and the mind and the power of the mind that we have right now. And so all these emotions that we feel ain't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. And you cannot erase them from your life, because they're in your life for a reason. And before I teach you how to take advantage of all these emotions, right, I need to tell you why they are here first, why you have these emotions, right? Because what you have to understand is that we are vibrational beings, right? We are our energy, and I'm going to get to the point, but hear me out, because I'm going to make sure that you guys really know what's up. Like, what's up with you, right? And long story short, because we are vibrational beings, we're able, right? We're able to really vibrate at the rate that it is that we desire. Let me go ahead and give you a better example. Let's say this chair. This chair is made off of energy, right? But the same energy that made this chair is the same energy that I am made out of, right? Obviously, we're not made out of the same material. I ain't no chair, but we are the same thing, right? Now, the reason why this is a chair and I am me is because I'm vibrating at a certain rate, right, than the chair. And so that's what makes me human, and the chair. But as a human with a very powerful mind, I'm able to shift my vibration. Not saying that I'm going to turn into a chair, because obviously, you feel me, we ain't a chair, but we can attract chairs, right? By shifting ourselves, our energy, our bodies, our vibrations, our frequencies, our energy to the vibration of a chair, right? Same thing with money, same thing with emotions, situations, and people and opportunities, right? And so long story short, how you are in control of vibrating to whatever it is that you desire is by being aware and being aligned right? And so when you are aligned to your purpose, when you are aligned with the things that you asked for, when you are aligned with who you are going to know. How do you know that you are aligned? You feel happy, great, fulfilled, blissful, enlightened, joyful. You feel all these high positive emotions because these high positive emotions are aligned with the things that you asked for, who you are, and what your purpose is. Make sense? Now, how do I know I am not aligned? How do I know that I am not fulfilling what it is, or I'm in the wrong direction, or I'm in the right direction? It is by emotions. Right? So if you feel aligned, you got your positive emotions, but if you feel unaligned, you have negative emotions, aka depression, anxiety, sadness, unfulfilled, empty, lost, how can I say, insecure, right? All of these are emotions that are allowing you, they're indicators of your alignment, right? So you have to understand that people, we're meant to grow, we're meant to evolve, and the only way we're going to grow and evolve is by being aligned and attracting what it is that we desire that pulls us to grow, right? But because sometimes we're not in that alignment, we have those negative emotions. Okay? So before I tell you how to use these negative emotions to your advantage, just understand that these negative emotions are not going to go away. They're here for a reason. They're here to make you aware of where you are, how you're functioning, how healthy the mind is, how powerful you are, right? And so instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? How can I get away from this? How can I, not ever think this way again? Or how can I never go through this again? Those are the questions that are going to lead to answers that you have no control over. Those questions are going to have answers that are dependent on outside circumstances. And you, my friends, have no control of any outside circumstances. But what you do have control over is internal circumstances. So instead of asking yourself, why me? Why this? Why did I get cheated on? Why did I get tried? Why didn't I get paid? Why this? Why that? Why did I lose somebody so special? Why do I feel like this? Why am I insecure? Instead of, asking yourself things that are going to lead to an answer that has to do with outside of you, outside of your mind, outside of your body, that you have no control of, you got to start asking questions that are going to lead to answers that make you look inside. Using that awareness to realign ourselves and feel more powerful and more blissful and more vibrant to get and chase and attract what it is that we desire, right? And so long story short, there's going to be multiple things that are going to cause you to have bad emotions. For example, you get tried, you get played, you feel foolish, right? You got lied to, or maybe you expected something and didn't get that expectation in return, right? Now, those type of moments are going to trigger those emotions, right? But what we have to ask ourselves is, wow, based on the emotion and how I feel right now, why is it that this certain situation caused me to feel this way, right? And the moment that you ask that type of question versus why is this happening to me? Why am I like this? Why is he like this? Why is she like that? Why is this that way? Instead of asking those questions that you have no control over, especially towards the answer of those questions, right? You need to ask questions that are going to allow you to think of the things that you are in control of, like your perception. Maybe the way that you perceived that situation was causing you to not be aligned with the present moment, with the moment that got you angry. So instead of saying, why did he make me feel that way? You want to ask, why do I feel that way based on what just happened? And you're going to find out that the majority of the time that you answer that same question is because of a perception and because of a thought and because of a paradigm or a piece of the past that allowed you to feel that way right now. And so what you need to do is use that anger, use that anxiety, use that negative emotion to acknowledge the area where you need strength in and repair in to align yourself and not have that bother you again. not have that make you feel that way again. And the moment that you now have control over the same situation that may happen more times, now you are prepared. Now you know that it doesn't bother you. Now that you know it's you, and now you can probably avoid it, right? Instead of avoiding the emotion, avoid the situation, because the emotion is actually good for you. It's actually letting you know, hey, we gotta fix this inside of you, right? And so long story short, there's this common question that I get asked, and it's a common question that I remember asking all the time, and it's, how can I stop thinking? How can I stop thinking this way? How can I stop being this way? How can I stop doing this, and that? And you need to ask yourself again, why do I want to stop thinking that? Why do I not want to steer to that direction anymore? What am I avoiding here? Am I avoiding an emotion that's going to make me realize something? Because if so, maybe I need to feel that emotion to recognize what it is that's causing it in the first place, right? And the moment that I'm aware that what's causing it is the moment that I can truly fix what's inside, not what is outside. Because remember, we don't have control of what's outside. We only have control what's inside. And if we can have the control to align ourselves or realign ourselves, then we're going to have control of the outside circumstances, right? But it all starts inside. And so long story short, let me ask you guys something. If the thought or your mind was pleasant, would you want to steer away from the mind? Would you want to steer away from the thoughts? No. And so the reason why you want to steer away from the mind and you want to steer away from the thoughts is because they're not positive, they're negative. And so your awareness of it being negative is now your responsibility to turn it into a positive mindset, a positive home for your thoughts, a positive sanctuary for you to recollect yourself and really go out there and dominate whatever it is that you're going to dominate at, right? And so guys, these emotions are high vibrating emotions, and although they're not the most positive, you can use those high vibrating negative emotions to shift to the positive, right? You can go ahead and literally use that anger as fuel to get what it is that you desire, right? Because when do you really start going ham? When you get everything that you want, or when you hit rock bottom? Right? So again, these emotions are super amazing because it's the moment that you get sick of being sick, tired of being tired, that you wake up and you say, you know what? I am aware that it is me. I am aware that I can fix this. I am aware that I'm the only one that can fix it. And the moment that you hit that level of awareness is the moment that you take massive action and your life completely transitions. But you have to view this moment of awareness as a positive thing instead of consuming into the emotion, instead of giving in to the negativity. Break out of it. Use that level, that deep level of frustration and anger and sadness into something that can benefit you by fueling you to never feel this way again. Not because you won't feel this way again, because our life, we will always have these emotions. It is in our human nature. It is by law for us to function. You can consider these emotions and these feelings as a form of instinct. Hey, this does not feel good, so maybe I shouldn't do it, or maybe I shouldn't be thinking this way, or maybe I shouldn't be seeing it this way, or maybe I should avoid doing stuff like this so that way I don't feel like this, right? But guys, these negative emotions, this anxiety that you have is positive. The only reason why you don't like it is because it's uncomfortable. But use that uncomfortable form of you to get comfortable, right? Use this anxiety to teach you something. Use this anger to show you that you're capable of something so much more than what you've been telling yourself, right? And so use these great emotions as fuel and as a level of awareness or awakening, moment in your life for you to actually go out and go full throttle, because these emotions are pleasant. Look, one of my mentors says there's an abundance of everything. There's an abundance of abundance and there's an abundance of lack. So if you are thinking of a lack, then there's an abundance of that lack. And so if your emotions are negative, chances are you're leaning towards the lack. And there's going to be an abundance of that lack. And if there's an abundance of that lack, you will only attract that lack, right? But you'll only lean to this side, to the lack of, the thoughts of the lack, is if you are not aligned with who you are and with what you ask for and what you're meant to do. And guys, you are how can I say, you guys are decisive of what you want, of your purpose. God gives you the talent and the ability to fulfill any purpose, right? That is the gift to you. The gift to you is the ability, right, and the talent to do what it is that you desire, right? So you were gifted a purpose, but you decide what that purpose is. You develop and evolve that talent and that ability, right? And so this talent and ability, if you are aligned with it, because it is who you are, right? It wouldn't be your talent and your ability if it wouldn't be you, right? It's like saying, hey, this wouldn't be a goal if you didn't think you were capable of doing it. I say it all the time. This wouldn't be your goal if you didn't think you're capable of doing it. But because you're capable of doing it, it's your goal, right? And because because you are capable of doing it, then it is you. It is you. And you are going to become it because you're already it. That's why you want to be more of it, right? And so that is you. And when you are aligned with that purpose, aka ability and talent being developed towards the things that you desire, right? Now you feel great. Now you're in the thought of thinking in an abundance. And so there's an abundance of the abundance. But when you are not aligned to that purpose, to that ability, to that talent that you're developing based on the choice that you wanted out of life, when you're not aligned to that, then you're thinking in the lack of, and there's an abundance of the lack of. But your emotions will tell you where you're at, if you're aligned or not. And so be aware of these emotions and let that shit fuel you. Let that shit guide you. Let that shit make you so aware of the things that you need to strengthen within your mind and your life, and you will see that you have complete control over all of your reality, all of your emotions, and all of your mindset. If you're trying to get away from your mindset, then your mindset is not healthy. But if you love your mindset, you're not trying to steer away from it. You're trying to fix it and evolve it as much as possible. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. It was a 15-minute video, but I definitely needed to share that out with you guys because I know how it is, guys. The frustration, feeling stuck, all that stuff. I know how it is. But it's a good thing. And I promise you that. And no matter what happens in your life, there's always something good that's going to come out of it. Whether this negative thought led you to another negative situation, there's something positive going to come out of that. Whether it's a awareness shift, whether it's a lesson, whether it's a breakthrough, whether it's a blessing, there's something that's going to come out of it. But only if you're aware and you believe that something good is going to come out of it. And if you don't believe something good that's going to come out of it, chances are you have bad emotions, you're insecure, you're not confident, you're not guided, you're not aligned. And so what do we need to do? Be aware, align, blessing happens. Much love, guys.